Welcome in, Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. We're live in Charlotte at the ACC Kickoff. Mike Norvell joins us now. Good to see you again.
Oh, it's great seeing you.
It's time, right?
It is time.
Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, in the breakout earlier this morning, I could tell you're excited to watch this team and see what they can become. You know they're good. How good can they be? And that's part of the bigger picture here, because you come to the ACC Kickoff this year with very lofty expectations. The collective media has you guys perhaps winning the conference, going to the college football playoff. You've never shied away from those expectations. But have you taken the time to appreciate what this is as you enter the season, where you were from, how tough those first 2 years were to where you are now?
Well, I think the journey, it sets up to who you are. What you've gone through, be able to, your reflection, I think, is critical as whatever you do, to be able to reflect back, things that have worked, things that you got to continue to improve on, where you need to continue to push. And that was a big part of the summer. After the season, you have that time, but then as you get into summer and you'll take a deep breath and think about the last few years, and it puts us in a position that we're excited about, and we have to go live it. And it's I love coaching this team. I love the guys that I get to be around, and I just want to see them maximize the potential that they have, and I believe that they do that. No limits to what we can accomplish.
Are there moments in practice when you see it? You talked about guys buying in, and you notice it in the work. You look for it in the work, I think was your quote. Do you see that? You see that like, oh, this guy gets it today. Something happened. I see it now. It's happening with him, and it happened more and more with more guys.
No, absolutely. And it's a daily choice. And, you never know, what situation is going to present itself where a guy gets to be the example. And that's one thing I try to challenge our team with is you never know where your actions are going to inspire somebody else. And it's what I try to implement and live, on a daily basis, is to be that for our team. But there's times where you see a player where it might be a challenging rep, or it might be success. And maybe they have a great moment in practice or in a workout, and then you watch the next one. Is the next one set to be better? Are we still keeping the focus on the little things, on the fundamentals? It's one of the things that coming out of spring I was most proud of, is you saw, as I've mentioned many times, like Jordan and Jared and Johnny Wilson. Those were our most improved players.
Right.
And they are some of our best players. But when you see them, the attention to detail, when the fundamentals, the little things, when they are critically important to them and the application of the work, it gets exciting. And that's what we want to be, and that's where we got to continue to grow.
I'm curious, you talked about Jordan Travis glowingly, obviously. This is a kid that's come a long way, and you've watched that growth. You've helped engineer some of that. Is it suffice to say that's the most growth you've seen from a quarterback in your career? Because he went from a guy that a lot of people thought, well, he can get out of the way, he's a runner. He's a quarterback now. He can make all the throws, as you described, and he is a refined quarterback at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's he's made tremendous strides, and I just believed in him. I believed in what I saw. It just everybody has to go through certain steps, and I knew what we were asking and going to ask him to do, and I believed it fit really well with his skill set. And it's just a repetition of that work, and believing it within yourself of what you can do. And I think Jordan has been a wonderful example of that. And, the growth that the outside world is getting to see is something that we take a lot of pride in, because, he's went through the journey.
The culture in the locker room is talked about. It seems to be very, very healthy. I've asked you this question in other ways before. How do you maintain something like that when you do have to bring in guys to fill spots from the portal? You bring in a guy who comes from a completely different culture, and he's a good player, you wouldn't be talking to him, but you need him to buy in almost immediately, hit the ground running to get into that locker room and keep things status quo.
Yeah, well, I mean, the standard doesn't change, and the expectations and the transparency in that. I tell recruits all the time, this program is not for everybody. It's just for the real ones, and it's for the right ones.
Right.
And guys that are willing to embrace that. I mean, those are guys when they come in. It doesn't mean it's going to be there's not going to be a bump or there's not going to be a situation, but it serves as a great reminder, just as you get to go through those experiences together. And, we want like-minded individuals. Everybody's going to have their own unique personality. Like I want all those personalities too.
Right.
But, when you have this similar mindset and similar approach, and when guys are able to work together and, they care about each other, they care about what they represent, you got a chance to build something pretty special. And I think that's what we see, because everybody has their own unique path. And whether it's transfer, high school, guys that were here before I got here, I mean, we've all said yes. And that's what makes it pretty enjoyable.
In some ways, was last year almost perfect for you as a coach because you had success and you needed to have success. People were waiting to see that breakout season, but you didn't win anything in terms of didn't win the division, didn't win the conference, didn't make the college football playoff. So you did enough to get some confidence, to have people believe, to take a big step forward. But you can then say to the guys, we got a lot more to do.
Absolutely. And you talk about the steps, and that's what we've done. We've taken positive steps within the program, and there's more steps to be taken. And it doesn't, whether it's the national, recognition or awareness of who we have. And, I tell people I want every player to be recognized, and be on the watch list, but you have to go do it. And it's a daily focus, individually, collectively as a team. And we all have those things that we aspire to do. It's a process and a journey that makes it worth it, and who you get to be around and do it with. And so, we have a team that's hungry. I mean, they embrace work, and I think they embrace the internal expectations, and that's all that matters to me. Is that the outside can say what it needs to say, the inside and what we believe and what we're willing to work towards. That's what's going to show up. And so, this is a team that. Like I said, I'm excited to watch it play out this season.
Final thing, and I know you got to get going. You got a lot of these to do. Does having LSU first change anything about your approach in practice?
I'm excited about the stage. I'm excited about the opportunity. But in all reality, if we allow that to change it, then we're not living up to who we say we need to be. It needs to be about us. And you look a year ago. We opened up with an opponent before that game, and we had a great camp, and it put us in a position to achieve at a high level when we started. And, we have a lot of respect for the opponent we're about to play. And LSU, it's defending SEC West champions. They got some very talented individuals, but it's still about us, about what we do. And if we will approach every day with that mindset and go and improve, then, come kickoff, we'll be ready to put our best foot forward.
Appreciate it, Mike.
Thanks so much. Appreciate you. Go Noles.
All right, take care. That's Mike Norvell, the head coach at Florida State University. I should be able to say his name, talk to him enough. Opportunity to kind of look at that LSU game. Tom, I want to come back and respond to what Mike just had to say there. And I thought he'd say that, but I wanted him to say it because I wanted to see what kind of message he's preaching to the team about the importance of that game, or the fact that it looks back inward and you got to focus on yourself before you worry about anybody else. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV, live from ACC Kickoff in Charlotte.